All right, now let's begin. Episode 49, looking down below. Switching over to satellite mode, I would have to say we're going to do something a little bit interesting. I was kind of looking back at the first episode and just seeing how we can tweak something from the beginning into something to today and the new. So previously we did Crazy Horse, a couple episodes on Pyeongchang and South Korea, and before that Panama. And looking down this area, just wonderful to see the different slots of land, different levels, different roundabouts. I could already see at the bottom down there. And you know what? Doing this place of the world, I just zoomed in fast. It's weird because I know a lot of the history in this area, but even just starting this episode, I feel like I need a PhD to feel comfortable. Not even sure if then I would feel qualified to do an episode, but as it is with the show, sometimes we just go on in and wing it. So, as I've mentioned in earlier season episodes, how much I appreciate roundabouts. Why? Because there's some kind of nostalgia about them. Just you go in a circle for as long as you want. You don't have to worry about a stop sign. It's just forward progress. And there's something I like about the yielding aspect, where it's like you got the inside, you get the right of way. It just seems really efficient, and seems like a fun way to get around. No pun intended. So, all right. Ducking out of this beautiful green roundabout, which was nice to see. Going back to the Galva River. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I think I've heard it pronounced a couple different ways. So here we are in September 2011. Quite some time ago. And a beautiful time that is. Ooh, okay. I was expecting a view looking back to where we were just a second ago, but it looks like it has these locks, like it's kind of a dam, or do they raise the bridge? No waving. Do not wave. Weird. Looks like very industrialized. Kind of a short roadway here. But some aspects of it remind me of some ships, giant ships for that matter. Some these kind of look like pistons. So let's duck out again. Let's see how close we can zoom in. So yeah, it looks like it's a lock, and perhaps it opens up. I don't think it's dammed. But maybe it's for, letting other boats in or whatever. This island caught my eye. Thought I'd take a quick look. Something very rugged about it. So it looks like it's been scanned a while back to where you can't really notice too much difference with switching to the 3D to 2D view. So that's interesting. See if we can get a good lake shot here. Come on now. There we go. What the? Is that a wall? Okay, so we're kind of elevated. It's kind of like a slope. Okay. Wow. Look at this grandeur. I assume those bikes belong to the people who took this photo. And pretty cool to see it along the roadway here. So more about where we were before when we saw the dam makes you think, okay, so this is almost a dam in itself, what we're standing on, right? Because, man, I know that some areas, especially along rivers, they flood, and then it's like, uh-oh. Big uh-oh. But looking down, another roundabout, by the way. Cool to see that you know, it slopes on the other side of the wall, and on this side of the wall, it slopes down. And those cars, they look like they're right at the level of the lake. So pretty interesting, you know. It seems like a very flat territory, which I wasn't expecting. So kind of like I did with episode 1, I was hoping just to move northwards. If you remember back in Littlehammer, we were kind of traversing. So I was hoping to see if, you know, I might be able to traverse up the river, but there's no routes on it, which is fine. Oh, cool. Wow, check that out. So from July 2014, right? So this is amazing. So check out that. You can see, which seems like that helps to control the flooding. Maybe boat passages, because you're not getting through with any boats if nothing's moving out of the way, right? There's no way around that. Which I have no idea how it opens. Maybe it swings. As it's pretty cool. It's mystifying me. If anyone knows, let me know. I'm sure that'll be a big concept of this episode, because again, it's got a lot of history here. A lot of things have impacted this area, good and bad. You know, you could say that. So I had no idea that it was this flat. I knew it was more to the south, especially towards like Ukraine, but I had no idea it was like, there's barely a hump to be seen. There's a little bit over there. A little bit over there. And again, it's like you got this, it's like this river's been dammed just ever so slightly for this amount of water in here. So I wonder if it's been pre-dredged so it's deep, or if it's just very wide and shallow. I don't know. So very cool to see where the buildings have been established. Simple streets, very humble, nothing too crazy, and for passages, you know, no freeways, no mega highways. So seems like a pretty humble area. So what a great photo. Whew. And for that matter, it's like a panorama. I don't know how this photo was taken, but that was fun to get lost there for a second. Lost but yet found. I'm really gravitating towards this river. It's just so curious what's along the bank of it. It's cool. You can see that this terrain has been tilled. Seems like it's a pretty tough soil, but it's been loosened up a bit. Nice plants along the river's edge. So great photo from June 2016. All right, let's move on forward. Nice, we got a little bridge view. Sweet, nice architecture. Love how they twisted the metal and it kind of repeats. You know, like I said, I think previous episodes, maybe in the, I think it was episode 7 with talking about bridges. Now the triangle is one of the strongest shapes in nature. I love these sweeping lampposts. A lot of birds. Kind of look like pelicans or seagulls. Interesting to note. They just, it seems like a lot of birds are pretty darn clever. And I actually have a commute over a bridge like this pretty much every day, and I'll usually see like peregrine falcons, and lately I've seen them like just chomping on a huge fish. You're like, how did this thing see the fish for one, and then manage to, you know, pull it out of the water? And it, you know, it's not uncommon to see a half a fish on the road. It's like fish roadkill. This fish was crossing the road, some little kid might think. or anyone for that matter. All right, so cheating along here, and I'm guilty. I pre-marked a location. So House of the Blackheads. We're gonna take a gander of this from a little bit of a distance, and hopefully be getting this in there pretty accurately. And oh, cool. So I think we're off to the side. So we're, we were just at the water's edge. It's like this girl's had a little bit too much vacationing. What a trusty dog. It's all jolly and... Oh, man. Trusty dog. Poor lady. So, yeah, I got some tourists here enjoying the sights, and I'm teasing. I'm sorry, I'm going to show it, I promise. So, House of the Blackheads. You can see probably some old historic or prominent figures in time. And there's a lot of history to this area, but this one I know in particular was built in I think the first part of 1201, roughly, and they were like I guess a society of merchants, and you know how these things can be back then, because different societies and cultures was important to stay in groups, and it supports a network, right? And that's how you have progress, I guess, and success, and for better or for worse, it's keeps things together. So in this case, it helped with their trade, and then I think that they had an order of a sword or something where they worked with this is a prominent bishop. I can't recall the name, but I wonder, yeah, because there's a shield right there, might be a sword in his right hand, so kind of protecting the trade. Oh yeah, so yeah, sword. See, we'll probably see if we can see photos of this. But before we go into the photo view, I just wanted to note it's pretty cool to actually see the size. For 1200, that's pretty darn good. And it's like, where do you get those resources to build something like this when it's like, where's the lumber coming from? Where's all that coming from? We saw this flat land. It's like, how do you get up and decide where are we going to build this? So when we'll zoom out and we'll look at the terrain and figure out that they had built this in a really smart strategic area. And so this part of the world, had been influenced by many, for lack of a better term, rulers or people of control, from the Holy Roman Empire to, Poland. I think even the Russians were over here. That was probably more towards 1948. And I heard that this was actually pretty heavily bombed. I heard the Germans in World War I were here. So it was bombed really heavily in World War II, and I heard it was pretty wrecked again in 1948. But then it was rebuilt again. So as tragic it is with wars, some beautiful things can be destroyed. So click in here. I forget that got to somehow figure out how to expand. There we go. So cool. Wow, check this out. So the detail of the art and how much they tried to get people to look a certain way, it's not easy. With limited resources, and to be able to just have color like that is pretty amazing, And I could sound like a fool. I mean, that could only be like, 100 years, which to me is still difficult to paint something like that. But if I'm guessing that's probably 1600s, if not before, by the look of that type of art. I'll be honest, it's a little bit of a wild guess, but just from, seeing enough art over time, you kind of start to get a little bit better at guessing. But really neat to see the wear, what you wear, clothes and armor, and I still can't envision myself if I ever would have one of those nose guards that go between your eyes. God, it just seems like an easy target, right? Get away for a bloody nose. Cool night shot there. Looks like it's raining. February 2017. Wow, nice nice streets. Well kept. Let's take a look at the inside. Beautiful, huh? Can you imagine walking around in there? So, look at that clock. Interesting busts. People on the left. Look at this table. I mean, look at the detail. And love the diagonal checkered board floor. Floral designs, crown moldings towards the ceilings above the door and the columns. Utterly beautiful arrangement of colors too. Very complementary towards each other. Nice gift shop. So pack your bags, folks. We're going here. Let's all book a trip. So we've barely brushed the surface on some pretty mighty history in this gorgeous city in Riga and Latvia, and very fun to see this part of the world. So much history, and we're just skipping through it so fast, but already spent so much time. I do plan on covering more of this in the future and hopefully do more research. But you know, there's a lot that I know in this area, but it's hard to find it within such a short period of time. So let's see, is it gonna let me? Oh, it was loading that picture, which is a cool one. So I just want to see if I can find a quick perhaps food place, huh? Yes. Wow, doesn't that look fun? I just want to order something. Seems like a blast. Yeah, look at that. Whoa, check out that everything. But check out the where she's dining. Got the cool little chair seat. Can I actually walk through here? Look at that fireplace. Look at the wood floors, short paneled wood floors. These ladies enjoying their probably playing a game here or scrapbook. So this back room here. Oh, that looks delicious, doesn't it? Nice. Still going through the meal there, enjoying it. I have no idea what it is. Maybe some kind of chicken? Some of the birds we saw up top? Just kidding. Looks like meat and potatoes. Some beautiful salad, but I'm not sure if that's lentil. But man, that is delicious. Amazing. Little university here. Get to see some modern students being educated. Riga Technical University. Huh. So, little convention center area. Looks like it's probably nearby. So, okay, folks, we're going to wrap it up there. I'm glad we got to see a little bit of food, a little bit of the area, and really grateful to see that high altitude shot. As promised, I'm zooming out just to show the interesting strategic area of where they set up posts, because, you know, they're safe on this, you know, it's a delta when the river juts out into the sea, which I believe, you know, it's the Baltic Sea, but this is the Gulf of Riga. So look at that. You're in the river in a really big gulf, and you can see it's what, 10, 20, 30 to 40 miles around. I mean, I want to do an episode right there too. So just so much to see here, but it's a fun place to see this part of the world in Riga. So there we have it. Well, as always, folks, please leave your comments, suggestions, and if you think of anyone else that would enjoy this show, please share. That is greatly appreciated. I enjoyed seeing this part of Latvia with all of you. And as always, thank you, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.